New details tonight about a string of deadly overdoses in Nashville last week. Police responded to 7 of them in 24 hours. Those overdoses happened in areas across the city and were caused by different drugs. Earlier this week, Deputy Chief Chris Gilder, I should say, spoke at the Metro Public Health and Safety Committee meeting. He said the victims ranged in age from as young as 29 to 66. Police are working with other agencies now to distribute more than 300 overdose reversal kits across the city.
Trying to ensure where they're in our homeless shelters and also warming and cooling facilities that are used as temporary facilities to make sure those are in place. And then that team is also working with MDHA to schedule some education and training on naloxone awareness in those communities as well.
He says anyone who sells illegal drugs that cause a deadly overdose will be charged with second-degree murder.
Now, naloxone is available and free at the Metro Public Health Department. There are also more than 400 locations across Davidson County equipped with boxes, each containing 2 doses of Narcan. So if you or somebody else needs help with addiction, you can contact the Community Overdose Response Team. That number is there on your screen. It's also easily found online.